Make them up on the back end. With the weather being absolutely terrible throughout the month of March and really throughout the early part of April, well, when you get dry afternoons, it's time to play baseball. Hard to believe that we are roughly about a week away from the postseason, and yet we're still working in non-conference as well as the last of the vestiges of the conference schedule. Two behemoths will take to the field here at Defiance this afternoon as the Bulldogs at 14-3 overall, 7-0 in the Western Buckeye League. They lead it. First place, second place, Wapakoneta at 11-5 and 5-1 in the WBL, trying to leave with at least a share of first place in the conference this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Scoop, we can break this one down 11 ways from Sunday, but when you see the best, the absolute cream of the crop, play with something on the line, well, if this game plays out even half as well as we anticipate on paper, everybody today is going to be in for a big treat.
Oh, that's going to be a fantastic game with a fantastic atmosphere. You have to go all the way back to the 2015 season, the last time one of these two teams did not win the Western Buckeye League title. And this year seems to be shaping up the same way, as these are the top two teams. Everybody else has at least two losses. So this is kind of for all the marbles. Still a little bit of WBL action ahead of the schedule, but this is where it counts right here. The winner will have supremacy for the time being in the WBL.
Boy, listen to him, supremacy. There just seems to be a regal tone to this afternoon's contest. As we work our way through the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show, we do want to get you a look at your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Before we go from top to bottom, let's focus on the pitchers here this afternoon. Breslin Zipfel for the Defiance Bulldogs, looking to get back on the winning track as the Bulldogs had a 7-game win streak snapped over the weekend against Olentangy Berlin. Olentangy Berlin, one of the top-ranked teams in the States in Division I. As a matter of fact, that was a final of 5-3. Likewise, a long win streak for Wapakoneta snapped last weekend as their only conference loss came in an upset versus Lima Bath. And they also had one against top-ranked in D2, Jonathan Adler. That was a tight ball game, but 4-0 the final score. So somebody here is going to get back on the winning track as well as maintain, as you said, supremacy in the WBL.
Well, these two teams have been ranked in the top 20 of the state all season long, and this is one you kind of circle, I think, in the summertime when you're putting in all the work and getting prepared for the upcoming spring. But again, this is a Wapakoneta team that's going to be missing their top performer in Grant Jolly, the North Carolina State commit, for the 8th consecutive game. He'll be out of lineup tonight, hoping to get back from an injury. But they have plenty to go around him, but they obviously are going to miss him tonight. But certainly no one's feeling sorry for Wapakoneta. This is the team that's got a lot of tradition.
Well, speaking of Wapak, and we are hoping the best for Grant Jolly. He expects, if he's going to be cleared later on this week. So we'll certainly cross our fingers and wish the best for that young man. But it's not as if the cupboard is bare for Coach Brandt and company. As a matter of fact, Taylor Eccles is going to be playing his ball at Miami University down in Oxford, and he's pretty darn good as well. Break him down for us.
Well, he's certainly a very talented junior. He's a guy that kind of throws a little bit of everything. He's got a fastball. He's going to get up in the mid-upper 80s. Look for him to maybe touch 87, 88, maybe even 89 here tonight. But what really makes him go is he'll throw a lot of different pitches in any count. He's a guy that might throw a slider one pitch, come back with a curveball. He may throw a splitter. He'll throw a changeup. And then when you start looking at off speed, he'll throw that heater right by you.
One of those situations where if you ask a coach or specifically a player what's in your repertoire and they start listing off 4, maybe 5 pitches, in the back of your mind you're thinking, yeah, right, what do you really throw? But as we were talking to Coach Brandt, he is effective with each one of those, but it's not just being good with that pitch, it's knowing when in the count or who to throw that pitch against, which makes him so good.
Well, it does. And he also is blessed to have Jason Brandt as his head coach. Jason's been doing this the 22nd year at Wapak, and he's certainly one of the best. He's gotten the Redskins all the way down to that state championship game, and he knows that Defiance is going to be a tough task, but he also knows the Defiance hitter. So what pitch Eccles will throw in what count will certainly depend on the batter that's in the box at that time as well.
On the flip side, the Bulldogs will counter with 6'2" junior Mr. Everything, Breslin Zipfel. Zipfel on the season. He has been, I don't want to call him an under-the-radar kind of guy, but when you talk about Khalil Ligon and what we've seen the last two broadcasts with Cody Shaw, Brez Zipfel is more than just an anonymous voice in the chorus. He's 5-1 with a very stingy 1.78 ERA. When I say anonymous voice in the chorus, Scoop, that's because all three starters for Defiance has a sub-2 ERA. You just don't see that at the high school level.
That's just incredible, and he's a guy that also has a lot of confidence in his arsenal. He'll throw a nice fastball that will certainly get into the mid-upper 80s, but he has a plus changeup. I think that is his out pitch. That's what he really can go to town on. But, you know, you talked about the impressive ERA, Brent, but his whip, which is basically hits and walks hit batsman per inning, that's less than 1. That's 0.98. If you look at the grand scheme of things in college baseball, for example, you know, the top team in the nation as far as whip is Arkansas at 1.11. This young man is throwing below 1 there. And Arkansas, if you're thinking they're ranked number 2 in the nation, has a lot to do with whip. The number 2 whip team in college baseball, East Carolina, they're 5th in the nation. Number 4 team, Texas A&M, they are ranked 1st in the nation. And Tennessee, who is the 5th best whip in the nation, number 3. So whip to me is the most important stat. When you see that 0.98 from Breslin Zipfel, look out. He's not going to surrender many runs.
Well, and you say that, I would also say Dave Van Horn, Tony Vitello, and each one of the coaches at those respective universities specifically go after that. It's not just how hard do you throw or how bad does your breaking ball snap off. It's can you pitch. There's a difference between being a thrower and a pitcher. And you just listed off 5 schools, obviously at the top of the nation at the Division I college ranks, that attest to that.
Yeah, and that's going to hold true in the high school level as well. So it's so important that you attack the zone. You do not give up the freebies because, again, when you start getting up those freebies, you create opportunities for the opposition, and that's what Zipfel has done so well this year. He does not give them a lot of opportunities. It's really hard to muster 2 hits in an inning off him, which is going to probably take to try to score a run.
There you see lineup cards, handshakes, and pleasantries being exchanged at home plate as Coach Brandt and Coach Weaver. Man, I tell you what, we have listened to some doozies of stories down on the fields as we try and get information from each respective coach this season. But those two talked like they were tavern buddies from the old neighborhood. I mean, it was something. I do believe that the statute of limitations is now in effect with each one of those stories, but just the same, we'll keep them quiet here on the air. Let's go ahead and get you your Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. And let's go for the visitors first, since they will come to the plate first as Wapakoneta. Again, at 11-5 overall, 5-1 in the WBL. We'll send the following 9 to the plate. Taylor Eccles will start on the bump. He'll also lead it off. Zach Niekamp will be roaming right field. He'll bat second. Ryan Price, your left fielder, bats third. Caden Moore, third baseman, is your cleanup hitter. Drew Bailey, the sophomore shortstop. He has got Division I written all over him. He bats fifth. Alex Lewis, your catcher, bats sixth. Madison Ludwig is the DH. He will hit seventh. Zach Fisher, the sophomore second baseman, will hit eighth. And Jarrett Mullen, roaming center fielder, he will hit ninth. We'll hold for the Bulldogs as we are getting set for the playing of our national anthem. It is courtesy of the Defiance Elks Lodge number 147. And there you see the colors waving in the background. Our thanks going out to the Defiance Elks Lodge number 147, helping us bring you the Star Spangled Banner. Let's go ahead and finish up our Baker Schindler Company starting lineups. Now for the hosts, the Bulldogs of Defiance, 14-3 overall, 7-0 in the WBL. A couple of changes, obviously, with Breslin Ziffel on the bump, but there you see that green from left to right is pretty much set in stone. Brady Borton will be the junior roaming center field. Torrin Long will move over from third to short with Ziffel on the mound. The senior got great range. Noah Gomez, he's also got good range at second. The junior bats third. Senior in left field, Garrett Rodenberger will hit cleanup. Junior first baseman Khalil Ligon hits fifth. Cody Shaw, the junior, back behind the plate. He bats sixth. Brez Ziffel on the bump. He has seen the batting average drop just a shade below 300 over the last week. He will hit seventh. Tyson Williamson will be your designated hitter, batting eighth, and Cohen Stockman, roaming right field, the junior, will hit ninth. Dimensions here at Defiance, 325 down both the right and left field lines, 355 in the power alleys. Wouldn't call it a bandbox, but it is a little shorter than usual to center field at 375. And with the wind blowing straight in almost from left field, it's just slightly across the diamond, which is a rarity because normally we see
team's a home run hitting team. Wapak has not hit a home run all season long. Defiance just two. So you're going to see teams maybe try to use their speed, swipe some bases, play a little small ball. That'll be a dandy here.
There you take a look. Brez Zippel finishing his warm-ups. Shaw goes down to second, and the meeting on the mound as the infield. Proud tradition, rich tradition here at Defiance for high school baseball. And arch rivals, as you mentioned, Scoop, since what was it, 2014 or 15, the conference title has gone through one of these two programs.
Yeah, 2015, just incredible. Defiance has 27 all-time WBL titles. Wapakoneta, third place in the league with 10, but recently these have been the two powers.
F&M Bank first pitch, swinging away, and a diving catch in left field by Grant Rodenberger. Off the bat of Taylor Eccles, and he just robbed Eccles of a leadoff hit. And if he doesn't come up with that, it's at minimum two. It's probably still rolling. I'm not just thinking three, but with Eccles' speed, Scoop, that might have been an inside the park home run.
Well, I guarantee you, it's at least three, and that might be the inside the park home run. And we've seen Rodenberger make that catch before, but that's as fine a play as you'll see at any level. But wow, what a big first out there for the Defiance Bulldogs.
So here's Zach Nykamp digging in from the right side. Swing and a miss on a 1-0 count. I believe that's actually Niekamp, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Zach Niekamp enters today's contest, hitting .220. On base percentage, though, of .340. Scoop, they talk about the top half of this lineup, and in particular the top third, as this one a chopper down to third. Hutchison stays on it, showing off a good arm. Just like that, two away. Coach Brandt was talking to us. He said we have the best speed in our lineup in the top third. He goes, we want them on. It doesn't care. He doesn't care how they get it. Hit, walk, wear one for the team. Just find a way aboard.
Yeah, they're awfully good in the stolen base department. In fact, this season, Wapakoneta is nearly flawless, 50+, and there's going to be.
Speaking of finding a way aboard, Ryan Price takes the first pitch off the shoulder, trots down to first. Let's see here. Ryan Price, that's the sixth time he's worn one this season, Scoop.
Yeah, looks good on him.
Chicks dig scars. Is that Keanu Reeves line from the Replacements? In this case, it'll be a big bruise. It'll also bring up Caden Moore. Caden Moore, senior third baseman. Digs into the box, hitting .230 on the season. Looks at an 0-1 count. Ligon will hold. Gomez at second, pinching over, high and tight. Coach Weaver told us that Brez Zipfel's changeup drops right off the table. He goes, you might mistake it for a true 12-6 curveball. There's a fastball popped up a mile high. Drifting over right side, and out of play. So Zippel ahead in the count here now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Normally I'd ask you if you waste a pitch, but in this situation, Zippel likes to go right at the hitters.
Yeah, I think you want to do that, especially with 2 outs. You don't want to give them extra opportunities to steal a base by, working the count deep. So I think you attack right here. Go with your best stuff here.
The 1-2. Zippel deals upstairs.
Now that was a heater, but well upstairs there to even the count up at 2-2. Moore last year was second team All-Western Buckeye League, and there he takes that nasty changeup and swings over the top. And Zippel is able to record his first punch out of the night.
That is a Premier Bank strikeout, and it also brings an end to the top of the first. No runs on no hits, no errors. 1 left aboard. Wapakoneta nothing. Defiance coming to the plate. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. And we welcome you back to Defiance. As there you take a look. Very surly, yet very handsome, and very high baseball IQ knowledgeable staff. Coach Weaver and company all checking things out. You can see the wind blowing on the jerseys there, though. It is coming in at a good clip. I wouldn't call it as bad as we've seen over the past 2 to 3 weeks. But, Scoop, again, anything, especially to the left side, is going to get knocked down pretty quickly today.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to squeeze in the outfield, especially on that left side. So right-handed hitters, I think you want to try to go oppo here tonight. You always try to maybe hit away when the wind's coming in at you from the left field pole. So good night to go oppo.
Taylor Eccles finishing his warm-ups. There you see him on the bump. Eccles, 5 starts in his 7 appearances. He's 4-1. Looks like he's given up 8 runs, 5 of them earned, 9 walks, but how about this, Scoop? 47 strikeouts with a 1.06 ERA. He's been nearly untouchable.
Oh, he's been awfully good, and his strikeout to walk ratio is plus 5-1, so more than 5 strikeouts per walks on the season. Opponents hitting just 157 on the season against Eccles.
Brady Borton digs in. It almost looked like he tried to get his thigh into a bender that cut over the heart of the plate. It's now 1-2. Speaking of speed, they want this young man aboard as he gets rung up looking strike 3.
Oh, good fastball that time by Eccles, who did not want to get into a 3-ball count. So the first Premier Bank strikeout for the junior here tonight, and Brady Borton is retired.
That'll bring up Torrin Long. Long hitting .292 on the season. He has started all 17 games as he bends out of the way of a pitch high and tight. We'll set the Wapak defense for you after this pitch. Whoa, as that one sails way over the crown of the helmet. 2-0. Behind the plate, it's an all-senior battery. Alex Lewis, your senior catcher, completes it. From left to right on the infield, it goes senior, sophomore, and then we believe junior. Caden Moore, Drew Bailey, Zach Fisher, and Peyton Young. From left to right in the green, it's a sophomore sandwiched in between a pair of seniors, Ryan Price, Jarrett Mullen, and Zach Niekamp.
There you see the get me over fastball on the 3-0 pitch, but all 4 pitches have run inside here on Long.
Oh, he challenged him right down central with a fastball. Long was on it, just didn't get the sweet spot of the bat on it.
That certainly must be the scouting report on Long. They're really pounding inside.
This one, a liner just over the outstretched glove of Moore at third and into left field for a 1-out single as Defiance has their first base runner of the game.
Well, that's a good-looking swing that time by the senior Long. Again, 6 consecutive pitches by Eccles, all on the inner third. The 6th one results in a base knock to left field to get things started here for Defiance.
Well, up steps Noah Gomez. He was hitting as high as 415 early last week. He has seen the average dip down. It's still more than respectable at 370. Trying to advance the runner with 2 absolute stud pitchers on the bump this afternoon. Get the feeling that offense is going to be at a premium today.
If you saw that last pitch from Eccles, you can see that his slide piece has a lot of run to it.
That one upstairs, runner goes, throw down to second. What a pill thrown by Lewis, and they got him. Torin Long gunned down, trying to take second base.
And that's not even close. And last year, Alex Lewis threw out 15 would-be base runners trying to swipe a base, so certainly well known he's got a cannon. You combine that with that quick release, that's tough math on the base runners.
A little bit of a late swing that might have jammed him on the inner third. It's 2-1. Gomez stays in the box. Eccles will continue to bust him inside. Ball 3.
Well, kind of out of character right now for Eccles. This is the second consecutive hitter to get a 3-ball count.
Make it ball 4, and he walks back-to-back hitters. Noah Gomez trots down to first. Boy, how different does that caught stealing make this complexion look now, Scoop? Instead of 1 down and runners at first and second, 2 down and still a runner at first.
Well, it's huge, but you also look at the top half of the inning. How big was that catch by Rodenberger to retire Eccles on the first pitch of the game? That really changed that inning as well. Right now, Defiance still has some life here with the runner on first, 2 outs.
Garrett Rodenberger hitting 289. Wanted to take a cut. Looks like Eccles maybe took a little something off of that. Strike 1. Get a good look from behind home plate. Ball's got some glove side run, but it's a little low in the cellar to even the count up at 1-1.
Yeah, good block back there by Alex Lewis. That was one of those 59-footers. He's able to do a great job keeping in front.
Well, that's a nasty slider. Holy cow. I know it's more of a slur of 11-7, but that just starts high and then snaps off at the last second.
I watched him in the bullpen. That had plenty of run on it before the game, and there's a great pitch right there where the bottom fell out. And fortunately, you saw just enough of it there by Rodenberger to fight it off, live for another pitch.
Count remains 1-2. I think that might have caught the inner thigh of Alex Lewis. He's kind of gimpy as he got back down into his crouch. The 1-2. Strike 3, and Rodenberger knew it. A Premier Bank strikeout to end the bottom of the first, and that will do it for Defiance. No runs, no hits, no errors. They do leave 1 aboard. We're quickly through 1. No score. Bulldogs and Redskins back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at the 6'2 junior Brez Zipfel finishing his warm-ups. Cody Shaw. Hopefully that's not an omen of things to come as that sails well into right center field. He can say it was the wind. That thing is moving. It's all the way to the warning track as we welcome you back. Top of the second. It will be 5, 6, and 7. Drew Bailey, the sophomore shortstop, will lead it off. Catcher Alex Lewis on deck, and DH Madison Ludwig in the hole. Brez Zipfel allowed 1 base runner in the first, a 2-out walk, but then struck out Caden Moore to snuff out whatever threat it possibly could have been. As Drew Bailey digs in, takes a strike at the knees. Drew Bailey hitting 280, if I'm looking correctly here. Some of the programs that the coaches use, and God bless them, we love them sharing the information with us, but Scoop had to decipher, I think, what was Sanskrit earlier today from the program that Coach Brandt used.
Yeah, we were fortunately able to eventually kind of sort that out and make sense of it.
Swing and a miss. Drew Bailey, I'm moving slowly over, is hitting 270 on the season. He's looking at a 2-2 count here. Zippel working quickly. Checks his swing. It doesn't matter. It's a called third strike.
Well, that's a Premier Bank strikeout and a good-looking bender that time that completely fooled Drew Bailey, the sophomore. And for Zippel, that's his second punch-out in the early going.
That'll bring up Alex Lewis, senior catcher, hitting an even .500 on the season. Short, stocky, barrel-chested young man. Clearly spent some time in the weight room. The 1-0. Fastball, he's swinging away. Fly ball, right side, wind will knock it down. Actually moves it over, and Stockman, despite having a beat on it, had to go about 3 or 4 feet to his left as he hauls it in for out number 2.
Yeah, great start again by Zippel, who's really starting to command his pitches, hitting his spots, and he's really doing a nice job of attacking these Wapak hitters. 2 quick outs now in the second inning, looking for the 1-2-3 inning.
There's a good-looking bender by Zippel as he deals the first pitch to DH Madison Ludwig. Swung on, might have been just a bit in front of it, evens things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ludwig hitting just below the Mendoza line at a $190. Assuming that was a change instead of an off-speed bender, but it bounced about 2 feet in front of the plate.
Yeah, he likes to throw that change quite a bit, but that one just did not have the handle.
Brings a little heat there and paints the black on the inside corner. We're even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. See what he elects to come with here with the count even. Brings another bender, check swing, fouled away.
Very defensive cut that time by Ludwig, just trying to fight off that pitch to get another one.
Count 2-2. This one well struck, but he's well early and fouls this one. How many yards would you say? Basically in front of the entrance here to the complex.
Yeah, you talk about out in front.
Extremely. And this one gets dirty, and all of a sudden, Ludwig has worked the count full. Are you sitting fastball here if you're Ludwig?
Yeah, fastball adjust. There
Boy, it is, and I don't know why he didn't pull the trigger. Wow. Strike 3, and that is a Premier Bank strikeout. Backwards, K, to bring an end to the Wapakoneta top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Brez Zippel strikes out 2 of the 3 that he sees. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look at the senior right-hander, Taylor Eccles. He will be pitching at the next level. Is he a junior? Okay. We did not have an official roster, so we were doing a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it research, but
no,
we didn't quite have the
No, but that's my bad, Brent. He is a senior. That's my bad.
You caught me. See, this is why we always trust you. And now, I don't know that I can ever do it again, Scoop. Now, he is a senior, right? He's headed to the Miami University.
He's going to Miami. Boy, Miami's a team that's really been on the rise in the MAC this year.
Making a late
currently,
run.
right now, they're sitting tied for 3rd place in the MAC. Top 6 teams will make the MAC tournament in Avon.
He will do the 5-hole. Khalil Ligon to lead it off. Cody Shaw, catcher in the on-deck circle, and his counterpart, Brez Zippel, in the hole. Boy, he can bring it. 87 to 89 is what Coach Brandt told us, but he reached back and I think maybe brought a little extra on that one.
No, he certainly has the ability to do that, and such a competitive kid. And there's a nice-looking fastball that just kind of paints the inside third. So, great job. I love how he'll throw to either side of the plate against anybody.
This one, letter high, chopped foul down the third base side. Coach Weaver gives it the old community college try. Comes up empty. I will say this, though, Scoop, and this is no disrespect to anybody in the Mid-American Conference, but pitching the last couple of seasons especially has not been what it's used to. As a swing and a miss, he pulled a string, got him out on his front foot. That's a Premier Bank strikeout to open up the Defiance second. And kind of piggybacking on that thought of Taylor Eccles, freshman or not, can be effective. And I don't care who you are, what school you are playing for, any starting pitcher. If you can be effective, you're going to find yourself with a lot of playing time in the Mid-American Conference.
Well, no question about it. You remember those guys have 3-game weekend sets within the league each and every week, and then you throw in some midweek games. I mean, you have to have not only 5 starters, but you need a dozen guys in your bullpen, and you never can have too much pitching. But certainly, I can see what Miami, Ohio likes in this young man here on the bump.
Absolutely, the 0-1. Swing and a miss, got Shaw out on his front foot, 0-2. Ironically enough, the school that Eccles has signed with has the best pitcher, at least by earned run average, in the conference, as this one runs him inside and off of his elbow. And is Wapak arguing that he didn't try and get out of the way? And no argument to be had here as he trots down to first. Third base runner of the ball game for Defiance.
That's a heads-up play there by Cody Shaw. You're down the count. You have one inside. Instead of bailing out of the way, he just kind of turns, lets it graze the elbow. You take him any way you can get him.
So that'll bring Zipfel up, hitting 286. The average was up to 302. He's squaring to bunt. This one back to the first base side. Eccles only play. Boy, that throw took Peyton Young across the base path. But the sacrifice does the job as Cody Shaw now in scoring position, 2 away.
Oh, I like the call there by head coach Rick Weaver, the fact that you're not going to get a lot of opportunities off Eccles. A lot of times you don't see a sac bunt with 1 out, but
no.
He wants to have at least one opportunity here with the runner in scoring position to drive home a run. And that hitter is going to be Cohen Stockman.
Tyson Williamson, DH. Cohen Stockman sitting in the 9-hole.
You're correct. I stand corrected again tonight.
I can't believe I've caught you twice today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's save the tape on this because this never happens.
The thing about Tyson Williamson, too, he had a big hit against Olentangy Berlin, something that the Bulldogs really did not have many of on Saturday. So he's a guy that certainly can hit a quality pitcher, as we saw on Saturday.
Up around the letters, outside. All right, ahead in the count here. Even though it's only 2 balls, if you're Tyson Williamson, do you treat this like a 3-ball count? You're looking for 1 pitch in your spot?
I think so. And there he was. That's a good hold right time. A good-looking pitch by Eccles that paints the black on the outside corner. And so now with 2 strikes, you're going to expand the plate here a little bit.
2-2. Chopped straight down and into the turf.
And I really love these Defiance base runners. They understand the game so well. There's 2 outs, so certainly you're going on a hit, but these guys are going on swing. That's what you need to do. Once that swing's being had, you got to be off the races. It's either going to be a fair ball, foul ball, or swing and miss into the inning, and there it is right there, a Premier Bank strikeout to retire Tyson Williamson. And that's the 4th of the afternoon for Taylor Eccles.
It's also the 2nd straight inning that Eccles has ended a Defiance threat with the K. So we are officially through 2. No score. Bulldogs and Redskins. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. There you get a good look from, can't call it our aerial shot, but that's on the roof of the third base dugout. Is that Ryan working the first base camera there? It is. It's Will? Okay. Will's on third. I was thinking Ryan was on just above us, right? Yeah. And we've got the cam from center field, which gives you a great look at the inside-outside. I love this look right there again.
That's a great.
That is a tremendous camera shot. There you see Brez Zipfel. That's that changeup scoop that Coach Weaver said you might mistake for the curveball.
Yeah.
But, man, that thing has a ton of snap on it.
Yeah, the only way to tell the difference is by the velocity. That's the only really giveaway, because it does have that nice dip to it. It's going to move away from the right-handed hitters. Boy, that's such a tough pitch to hit.
So the infield meets. Everybody decides Candlesticks makes a good present, and let's get two. Brez Zipfel getting set to deal to the 8, 9, and then top of the order for Wapakoneta. Zach Fisher will lead it off. Center fielder Jarrett Mullen on deck, and Taylor Eccles in the hole. Zipfel deals first pitch squaring to bunt and fouled straight back. Scoop, we had again a long talk with Coach Brandt, and he said we're going to have to manufacture some offense today.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Hits are going to be kind of a minimum here with two quality pitchers, so try to find a way to manufacture a run, especially you're at the 8 here. A sophomore doesn't have a lot of varsity reps. You're seeing a tremendous pitcher in Breslin Zipfel.
Whoa, a little high, a little tight. Fisher, as I look down here, and hitting just a $140 on the season, Scoop. This is a guy you'd go after then, right? There's no reason to kind of fool around with.
But not only is he hitting a $140, his on-base percentage is a $140. So he's not getting walks. He's not getting hit by pitches. So you have to attack. And right now, Zipfel here is had a little struggle here with his command.
Tried to hump that one up and lost control of it. Deals here, and that's just to get me over fastball, and the underclassman taking all the way. 3-2. See what Zipfel elects to come with here. Count full. He deals. This one launched into right center. This could be trouble. Stockman on his horse into the wind and makes a nice running catch.
Tremendous job by Cohen Stockman, the junior. Again, with the way the wind's playing, it kind of held that ball up a little bit. He was able to track that thing down.
From our angle, Scoop, I was watching Borton thinking he had a beat on it, and he originally did, but that wind looked like it blew it in to Cohen Stockman. As the 9-hole Jarrett Mullen will dig in. Jarrett Mullen leans back. Mullen hitting .280 on the season.
Well, that was such a big play to retire Fisher because
that's a
this
beauty.
is a guy that can hit.
Line down the left field line. Rodenberger's on it quickly. Mullen taking a long turn, but that's a nifty play by the left fielder to get on it and get it back in to hold him to 1. How about this, though, Scoop? 2 hard-hit balls, the only really hard-hit balls, have both been pulled here this afternoon.
Well, you're right, and that was the sophomore Jarrett Mullen, the 9 spot, so great job. That turns it over to the other guy that hit the ball hard. That's Taylor Eccles, who was robbed of extra bases by Garrett Rodenberger on the first pitch of the ball game that completely turned that first inning around.
That was all or nothing for Rodenberger. If he didn't come up with that, you and I were talking about it during the break, we don't think that's just a triple for Eccles. We think he's coming home on an inside the Parker. It saved a run.
Yeah, and that wasn't a replay. We saw that same catch against Bowling Green about 3 weeks ago where he took away extra bases once again, where he had to completely lay out and caught it about shoelace high.
He's a tough-nosed football player. That's what he's going to be doing at the next level college-wise, but he plays a physical brand of baseball.
Zipfel really holding Mullen tight here, who has 5 stolen bases on the season.
He bluffs going as he comes with an off-speed slurve. It's a strike. Eccles entered today's contest hitting .420.
And his on-base percentage of .580, so he's been a tough out.
On his front foot, this one into the left center field gap, and having to play it on a bounce is Barton, and it's off of his glove. The runner advances to third, and that's a heads-up piece of base running by Eccles as the trail runner to get to second.
A tremendous piece of hitting, and also, as you mentioned, Brent, tremendous base running there by the senior Taylor Eccles, and that time a mistake by that Defiance outfield. That ball has to go into second base. Just no chance you're going to throw out Mullen, who was running on the pitch. And so a huge opportunity, because what that does is it forces Defiance infield to come in as they no longer have the luxury of a double play to get them out of the inning.
Zach Niekamp hitting .220, digs in. Tack another 30 points onto his batting average, though, with the infield drawn in. And a chance to give Wapakoneta an early lead. Good pitch down around the knees, and I'm not sure if Niekamp thought that was a strike or if he's upset that he didn't pull the trigger.
Well, Niekamp's also a guy that handles the bat very well, leads the team in sack bunts.
This one low and away. Zach Niekamp, I'm looking here. RBI, where are you, young man? 9 on the season. Number 10 and number 11, both in scoring position. It's this one. Little humpback liner and into shallow center field. One run is home. They will hold the lead runner. Eccles will stop at third. And just like that, back-to-back-to-back hits gives Wapak an early 1-0 lead.
Clutch hit that time by the senior Niekamp. And again, there's the importance of when you bring that infield in, it's going to open up some bleeders like that. You know, when you're playing double play depth, that might have been an easy pop fly there. Instead, it's going to be an RBI single. So Wapak strikes first, and now they still have runners on the corners. Just one out. Middle infield playing double play depth.
Oh, look at that. They had the safety on. Price was squaring, and he did offer.
I love the safety in this scenario because, you know, the first baseman, Ligon, has to hold Niekamp on first base. So if you can just push a bunt to the right side, you're going to score a run.
This one short hops the plate. Nice job by Shaw to keep it in front of him. Boy, you can really hear the wind whipping over the microphone here just outside the press box. Really strong, almost straight in from left. Boy, a little chin music up around the ear flap. Didn't even phase Price. Almost looked irritated with the pitch.
No pun intended.
Yeah. 2-1. Inside out. He busted him in on the fists, fouls him away, and now Sauce for the goose. It's 2-2.
Right now, Price has to be situational. You want something you can lift to get a fly ball, to get a sac fly. Maybe hit something hard.
Runner goes. Check swing. Back to the mound. Quick look at third. Zippa will go to first. If you have a lesser arm, you cannot get away with that play. But Zippel tried to deke Eccles at third, didn't work, and then he spun and just showed off why he's one of the best shortstops and quarterbacks in the WBL.
Yeah, I like what he tried to do there to try to maybe catch that lead runner. But instead, that's a big out right there. We do see the advancement of Niekamp to second base, but Defiance more than happy to exchange that for an out without them scoring another run.
Caden Moore will dig in. First pitch swing sends one a mile high right side. Drifting back is Ligon. Makes the one-handed catch. So Wapakoneta does score, but it could have been a lot worse. 1 run on 3 hits. No errors. 2 left aboard, both in scoring position. The damage, though, kept to a minimum. Redskins 1, Bulldogs nothing. Bottom of the third when we come back on DCTV Sports. Bottom of the third, first run of the afternoon goes to Wapakoneta, but it could have been a lot worse as they left a pair stranded at second and third. But Taylor Eccles takes the bump with something he hasn't had so far this afternoon, the lead. It'll be the 9-hole Cohen Stockman to lead things off. Brady Borton top of the order on deck, and Torrin Long in the hole. First pitch, Eccles deals. Good sinking fastball, strike one.
A nice job. You really want to attack the zone, especially at the bottom of the order here.
Got him out on his front foot, swing and a miss. Well,
Yes.
he doesn't just work elevation, he works pitches. Swing and a miss, big sweeping frisbee, and Stockman says, did I go? Did I catch a piece of it? He's claiming he fouled it off, and Coach Weaver's saying the same thing. Now, Lewis did go down to first, thinking that it was a drop third strike, and that's a good piece of communication there by the officials, as the field official says it was a foul tip. And now here comes Coach Brandt. Now, Coach Brandt,
it's not a foul tip if it hit the dirt, but he definitely got a piece of the ball, no question about it. The question is, did Lewis catch it in the fly or the short hop? And that's where they asked for help. And
Lewis isn't putting up an argument, and the argument from Coach Brandt is very short-lived. So Stockman buys one more pitch, at least.
well, that's huge. You know, you work the pitch count by doing this.
Well, it was just a matter of two more pitches as another Premier Bank strikeout for Taylor Eccles, and he is dealing right now.
No, he's been so good. And again, that's so important for him to attack the zone. Just don't give up the freebies. You know, get ahead. And that hasn't been really a problem this year, as we mentioned, a plus 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio.
Well, there's a bender that didn't, and Brady Borton, I guess if you have to wear one, I'd say probably a 75-mile-an-hour one is the one that you want. You can hear the reaction from the dugout just beneath us.
And that's the last thing you want to do is not only put a base runner on base for free, but you just put the leading base stealer in the six-county area, Brady Borton, who's 18 for 18. And that includes Paulding, Putnam, Williams, Fulton, Defiance, and Henry counties, by the way.
Not going far over into Lucas or Wood, though, yet.
Not just yet.
Okay. Good movement on that pitch to Torrin Long for a strike. The only question is, when is Borton going? He has the green light. He has a good lead, and they chase him back.
Yeah, when he feels he gets a good jump, I mean, he certainly has the green light, but he also maybe wants to pick that off-speed pitch.
Oh, he's going now. It's high and tight. Throw down to second, and just a fraction ahead of the tag. Brady Borton remains perfect on the season in stolen bases.
Great wheels by the junior, Brady Borton. Once again, that was a tough pitch for Alex Lewis. That was high and inside, but yet he also got another great throw down there.
Well, it was a fastball, though, and it was elevated, Scoop. So I guess if there's a pitch next to a pitch out that a catcher would like in a situation like that, he got something to work with. It's 2-1. The equalizer in scoring position. Eccles deals. It's 3-1.
Boy, you really have to go after Long here. You don't want to face Noah Gomez and not have a base open to work with. Huge 3-1 pitch coming up.
Long leans back, ball 4. Runners at first and second with only one away. For the best hitter on the lineup, Noah Gomez stepping to the plate.
Yeah, Gomez hitting 370 on the season. He also leads the Bulldogs in extra base hits with 5. And remember, Gomez has great wheels as well. So here's where the defense has to know the speed of the batter and the runners.
Gomez walked his first trip up, and he wasn't guessing. He took a cut at a first pitch fastball, comes up empty.
That's a good fastball, well located right at the top of the zone there. Just no chance for Gomez to catch up.
Tries to snap one off. It misses high and tight.
Well, you can see Eccles really loves to go inside on
He
a lot of
does.
these hitters. He's already had 2 hit batsmen.
Swing and a miss there. Make it 1-2. You got great speed at second, good speed at first, and very good speed in the box. The 1-2 got him way out on his front foot. He almost hit that into the third base dugout, and as a right-hander, you've got to be well early to do that.
He's thrown a couple off-speed pitches here consecutively. Now we'll see maybe if he's going to try to sneak a high fastball by him.
Borton, well, they are really pinching, trying to keep him close. They're doing nothing to hold long. And there is a slider on the outside corner, and Gomez knew it. Tip your cap, strike 3.
A Premier Bank strikeout at a great time there for Taylor Eccles, who now has 6 strikeouts on the day, but not out of the woods yet.
Rodenberger will dig in. He is 0 for 1. He was one of those 6 strikeouts. First pitch swinging, chops it straight down on the dirt. Garrett Rodenberger hitting .289 on the season. He's got 5 RBI. Number 6 is standing at second base. It would tie this game. Eccles deals. This one a nubber up the first base line. Eccles has it. Underhands. Pitched his way into a jam. Pitched his way out of a jam. Score at 1-3 to retire Defiance here in the bottom of the third. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We are through 3. No change in our score. Wapak 1, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. A la MGM, Metro Goldwyn Mayer in the 1960s with the trio of capsules there for you. Get a good look 3 different ways as Breslin Zippel, 6'2 junior for Defiance. Finishing as a warm-up pitch. We welcome you back to Defiance. It is the top of the 4th. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for visiting Wapakoneta. Drew Bailey will lead it off. Alex Lewis on deck. Madison Ludwig, the DH, in the hole. Score remains 1-0. Both teams have had their chances, Scoop. It could be well more than this, but in all honesty, even 1-0 with 4 combined hits between both teams and roughly half a dozen base runners.
Yeah, that's kind of what.
Both pitchers have managed to bow their neck when they've needed to.
Well, and that's what makes them such great competitors, and the numbers reflect that. And again, it's one thing having a gift of an arm. It's another thing kind of having that X factor where you go out there and compete. You have to overcome adversity, and that's what this great game's all about. And this is kind of what we expected, though. We did not expect a lot of runs.
No.
We looked for teams to play for run. We've seen Defiance put guys in motion. We've seen both teams attempt a bunt here early on. So, again, just trying to find a way to scratch across a run. And now Wapakoneta wants to find a way to extend the lead.
Well, 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls. And Drew Bailey, sophomore shortstop, will trot down to first as the leadoff man aboard. So here's my question for you. Small ball, yes or no for Wapak?
Yes, no question, yes. Right here, they want to try to get the sophomore in scoring position after Zeppel issues his first base on ball.
Lewis isn't even hiding the fact he was squaring well before Zippel even started his warm-up. And Brez bounces one to him. And right now, Brez needs to maybe take a little bit of time. And this is a beautiful move, upperclassman move, but a high baseball IQ by Shaw to go out. There you see the arm around his junior. That was nothing more than just take a deep breath and play catch with me.
I love to see that. You know, as a former coach, that's something you always look for. What guys are going to step up and be those leaders? And right there we saw Cody Shaw kind of be that guy.
Squaring to bunt. Inside, it's a strike. I was at a broadcaster's clinic once, and Jason Varitek, the former standout catcher for the Boston Red Sox, was the guest speaker. And somebody asked him, as squaring to bunt, here fouled back, and now Zippel has got him where he wants him with 2 strikes. Do you keep the bunt on here if you're Wapakoneta?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. A lot of coaches won't, but I think you do. You've seen he's seen a couple pitches. He's squared 3 times, so I think you kind of roll the dice here in this scenario, doing what you can to get Bailey into scoring position. And there you see, nice job Ziffel throwing over to see if maybe they might tee their hand, but I think he's bunting.
He is. He's squaring and takes. Snap throw down to first. The tag is down. It was a called third strike.
Great job there by Ziffel. And again, after that little pep talk, he's able to come back, get that Premier Bank strikeout, number 4 of the afternoon. But that's big right there, as that does not allow Drew Bailey to advance. So now the Bulldogs still have the double play in order.
Here's Ludwig digging in. 0 for 1, struck out looking his first trip up as he fouls one back. To kind of finish that thought, though, Scoop, somebody asked Veritek, it's like, so what is the conversation when you go out onto the bump? And he goes, sometimes we talk strategy. As off speed, did that paint the inside corner? It did not. And he goes, sometimes it's as simple as just saying, hey, give me a wink and a nod. Or where are we going to have team meal tonight? Which the answer was always a steakhouse. But he goes, not every single time we went out were we talking strategy. He goes, sometimes guys know what they need to do. It's just a matter of slowing the game down for them.
Yeah, and I've heard coaches kind of the same thing, pull guys in a key moment where there's lots on the line, and they'll say, hey, your beard looks awfully dark today, or whatever it might be. I mean, it's just again, to kind of lighten the moment and just get him to go out there and do what he's practiced doing so many times. And right now, Defiance wants that heavy fastball to try to get out of this inning.
2-2, we brought a bender, and he fouls that just off. That was an excuse me, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. He just got a piece of it. You and I have talked about it. I have a brother-in-law that reached the AAA level, and his manager used a line from the movie The Rookie on him when Morris went in for the first time. Boy, that's a quick move. Got him! The pickoff is there at first. Wow. Brez Ziffel showing a great move to retire Drew Bailey for round number 2.
And how's that for overcoming adversity by Ziffel? He walks the leadoff man on 4 pitches, falls behind the second batter.
And now notches Madison Ludwig on a 2-2 count.
And again, how big is that pickoff right now?
Yes.
Again, another big play by this Defiance defense. It kind of changes the inning. Instead of first and second, just 1 out. Zippel can still breathe a little bit easier with 2 outs and a runner on first. And really, Ludwig's not really a speed demon out there for the Redskins, so it's going to take really 2 hits to score him from first. So right now, you just rear back and fire, go after the sophomore, Zach Fisher.
Fisher 0 for 1, flied out to right, and this one airmailed to the backstop. It'll be a wild pitch as Ludwig lumbers into second base.
Right now, Rick Weaver's going to take a little visit with Ziffel, who's got good stuff, but he's been very inconsistent this inning.
Extremely, and completely unlike him, really, at all this season.
Yeah, we saw 5 consecutive balls, and then we saw really 4 quality pitches in a row. And then he makes a tremendous pickoff, and then he hits a batter, and then that one is completely airmails Cody Shaw.
Is it a mechanics issue in your opinion? Are you seeing anything? Because the conversation right now is interesting. There you see the pat on the head, trying to make sure. Anything to lighten the mood. Torrin Long can get away with that.
Well, anything this early in the game to me is always either going to be mechanics or it's going to be mental. So it's one of those things where you're going out there and you're going to give them one thing, maybe work on mechanics, or just saying, hey, just go out there and do what you've been doing here to get us to this point. And there's a good-looking pitch right there to get back in the count.
There you get a good look at some insurance. It will take extra bases to score Ludwig from second. This one, high fly ball into left center. Rodenberger has a beat on it. Still drifting over. Whoa, that ball squirted up in his palm of his glove just a little bit. But he squeezes, and that will do it for the Redskins here in the top of the 4th. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left to board. 3.5 are in the books here at Defiance. Pitchers duel Visiting Wapak 1, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. Bottom of the fourth brings up 5, 6, and 7 for Defiance. Khalil Ligon, Cody Shaw, and Brez Zippel. Second trip through the lineup. They'll try and solve the mystery that is Taylor Eccles, the senior right-hander. He is headed to Miami University. He'll be a Red Hawk next year, but right now he's a Redskin, and he has been masterful.
Well, he's been, remember last year as a junior, he was first team all WBOL. And the fact that he's really the number 2 pitcher in the staff. And you look at their number 1 pitcher, Grant Jolly, who's injured right now, not in the lineup. He's already committed to North Carolina State and being just a junior. But Eccles continues to impress.
This one, is that on the line? Foul. Is it going to be a fair ball? Just foul. Coach Weaver can't believe it. There's nobody that's going to make that call other than the home plate umpire, but that was razor thin.
Yeah, that had, he almost hit it too hard. Ended up being maybe 6 to 8 inches foul. But again,
man,
hit on the screws. Boy, that's a tough break because that was more than likely extra bases.
Oh, without question.
To start things out. But, man, what a good-looking swing that time from Ligon. And Ligon has the longest hitting streak for Defiance coming in at 3 consecutive games. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you see the likes of Olentangy, Berlin, you see Bryan, you see the teams they've been going through, you're not going to have a lot of lengthy hitting streaks.
Well, right now his job is to get aboard, and he's playing a little head games with Eccles as he trots down to first. The leadoff man is aboard. He represents the tying run here in the bottom of the fourth.
Well, this is the first time tonight that Eccles did not strike out the leadoff batter for Defiance. So maybe a sign of things to come. We will have a pinch runner here for Ligon. And
it's usually Rodenberger, the younger. We'll wait and see here who they bringing in. It's 25. And I think it's going to be Hartnett running it first. Of all the things I have taped up here, my roster is at the bottom of a cubic ton of paperwork. And they throw over, and the pick is good. Oh, my goodness. The young man barely had a chance to get a lead, and he's recorded as the first out.
It's just incredible. We talked about how good these guys are at pitching, but they also know how to manage the game, hold the runners, and what a heady play there by Eccles there to quickly retire Hartman, who did not get a chance to even see a pitch.
Wow. And again, talk about helping yourself out on the mound. Both pitchers have been doing that all game long.
That's that high baseball IQ, just understanding the game, understanding the situation, and coming in and executing.
There's this one, a high fly ball into left center, but the wind's going to knock it down. Mullen comes in on it, and just like that, there's 2 away. On a normal day scoop, that carries, but today, everybody going crazy, and I'm like, take a look at the colors because that is going to be an extra defender today.
Now, that was a great swing from Shaw. He's able to barrel that up, but that wind just kind of not only knocked it down, it knocked it down in a hurry. Ended up being a routine play.
First pitch swinging, Zippel going to right field, and on a line, my goodness.
And Zippel had to dig that out.
Yes,
that
he did.
Ball was hit hard. And again, with the wind conditions, the outfield's been squeezing here for both teams. And Niekamp took a peek to first base from right field, thought better of it. But a 2-out single there by Zippel to keep the line moving.
So we'll see if the bottom of the order can get it done. Williamson digs in from the left side. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging.
Right now, if you're Eccles, you need to really be efficient here. Limit that pitch count. Go right after bottom half of the order here, especially with the runner on first. But there he goes.
He's off. He's got a tremendous jump, and the throw short hops Bailey. He's into second with a stolen base. Tying run in scoring position again.
Tremendous base run that time by Zippel. His 4th stolen base of the season. And now Redskins
meeting on the mound.
Maybe talk things over.
The count is 2-0 to Williamson. You hate to think that you keep the bat on your shoulder until you get a strike scoop, especially with as good of control as Eccles has. But what's your approach now if you're Williamson with a 2-0 count?
Well, I think you're swinging, but it's only that pitch in your will. So
you're treating this as a 3-0 count?
You have to be smart here. I mean, I think it depends on, the coach, how much confidence you have in the young man hitting. But we've seen a little inconsistency from both Zippel and Eccles here at times where their control has just kind of left them. So right now, you don't want to fall behind the 8-hole hitter 2-0, but you certainly don't want to just groove one across the plate and let him tie the game up with a single.
2-0 is on the way. It misses above the letters. 3-0. All right, so I'll ask the same question now. Taken?
Taken all the way. Not a chance he's swinging the bat here. He may be taken twice here.
He takes outer third, and this just does paint the black. Strike one. There's nothing that Williamson could have done with that pitch anyway.
No, good hold, and again, going to be very, very selective here, 3-1.
See if Eccles tries to double him up as he swung right over the top of it.
Well, good-looking pitch, and again, good location by Eccles after falling behind 3-0's, made 2 quality pitches.
Miami's getting a good one. Payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Boy, from 3-0, another Premier Bank strikeout, and yet again, 4th straight inning that Defiance ends an inning with the K. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We are through 4. No change in our score. Wapak up 1-0. We're back after this on DCTV Sports. Top of the 5th, it is a pitcher's duel here at Defiance. Breslin Zippel going basically toe-to-toe with his counterpart for Wapakoneta, Taylor Eccles. 1 run between both teams. That we talked about offense being at a premium here this afternoon. Zippel will try and keep it where it's at as he'll deal to the 9-hole Jarrett Mullen to lead things off. Lineup turns over, Taylor Eccles on deck and Zach Niekamp in the hole. High above the letters for ball 1. Zippel working quickly. Oh, there was some good glove side run on that pitch. He swung and fouled it back.
Yeah, good aggressive swing there by the sophomore Mullen, who scored the only run where he ignited that 1-out rally.
The 1-1 doubled him up and got him out on the front foot. Maybe took a little something off of that pitch.
That's a great pitch. You talk about getting the guy to hit your pitch. That's exactly what Zippel was able to do right here. Took a little bit off and caught Mullen out in front.
1-2, carved him up. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Uncle Charlie, 3 straight pitches, and that's another Premier Bank strikeout.
Oh, what a great pitch once again there by Zippel, who wastes little time and was able to retire Mullen for his 5th strikeout of the night.
The last thing you wanted to do was mess around with the 9-hole that was hitting sub 200 with this guy up as Eckel sends a fly ball into center field. It looked like that came off the fist just a little bit. That'll be a routine put out as Borton puts the leather to it, 2 down.
And once again, Eccles, kind of being an early hitter, comes out swinging right away. That time, a pretty good pitch. I think that did saw him off just enough where that ball was kind of hit harmlessly in the center field. So 2 quick outs for Defiance.
Here's Niekamp digging in, 1 for 2. Has the only RBI of the afternoon.
Ziffel looking for his second 1-2-3 inning of the night.
Swing and a miss. He couldn't lay off, but he couldn't catch up to the high heat.
Yeah, no chance to hit that heater up there. That was near his eyes.
Fastball boy challenged him again, fouled straight back. Look, there's no question Brez Ziffel is an elite defensive shortstop. This is the first broadcast we've had with him on the bump. That's a great shot from center field. This one poked right side. Oh, what a snare by Gomez at second base. Flashing some fancy leather as he takes away a would-be hit from Zach Niekamp. And with it, it's a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the Wapakoneta 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Question is, the Bulldogs have some offense in them. We'll see what they can muster when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports. There you get a good feel from center field, the grandstand, and third base. Very windy afternoon, very sunny afternoon. Temperatures were around 70 degrees at first pitch. Beautiful day for baseball. And the 2 best in the WBL as Wapakoneta at 5-1. Trying to chase down first place Defiance at 7-0. Right now, the visiting Redskins with a 1-0 lead. Bulldogs trying to change that as the 9-hole Cohen Stockman will lead it off. Takes the first pitch fastball, and that was a short arm raise by the home plate umpire, but I believe it was technically a ball. As this one, a routine fly ball. The wind knocking it down, and a few extra steps from Jarrett Mullen as he loses his hat. Hauls it in, though, for the first out.
Oh, great job by Mullen. Looked like a routine ball at first, but with the wind really biting that baseball down, he had to go a long way. But that's a big first out there by Eccles.
Brady Borton will dig in as the lineup turns over. 5th inning, 3rd trip to the plate. Struck out looking back in the first. Hit by a pitch, stole second in the 3rd, but couldn't go any farther. Took a good swing there. A little late and fouls it away.
And Eccles knows he has to go after Brady Borton. He made a mistake of hitting with a pitch in that 3rd inning, and Borton quickly swiped second base. So you want to keep the speed off the base. So there's a good heater that Borton's a little tardy on. And Borton falls behind 1-2.
Got him swinging, challenged him upstairs, and another Premier Bank strikeout. 2 away.
A great pitch in that time by Taylor Eccles, kind of pulling a string there, taking a little bit off. Boy, that's huge, retiring the speedy Brady Borton, but brings up Torn Long, who's been on base twice. He's 1 for 1 with a walk.
Looking down here, Scoop, how many 3-ball counts has Eccles found himself in today? This one popped up mile high, wind blowing it back and into the grandstand. Draws himself a extra swing. Long got to a 3-2 count in the first. And has anybody else? Long got to a 3-2 count in the 3rd.
Gomez walked. And you also have Ligon walked.
Williamson struck out after going up in the count 3-0.
So he's had
4 times?
He's had 5 3-ball counts. Kind of out of character. We talked about him being more than 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio.
2-2, pulled a string, got him out on his front foot, scored a K. They'll have to go down to first. Torn Long is retired on another Premier Bank strikeout. And the Bulldogs go quickly and quietly here in the 5th. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Wapakoneta 1, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. Ziffel, there's that changeup that we were talking about. Finishing his warm-ups here as we welcome you back to Defiance in the top of the 6th. It'll be the heart of the order. 3, 4, and 5. Price, Moore, and Bailey. One inning that has been the difference in this ball game. 1 run. It came on 3 hits, the only hits that Ziffel has allowed this afternoon. But Wapakoneta put them together in the same frame, and it was just enough to scratch out the difference maker so far in this contest.
Yeah, that's always big when you can bunch together some hits, but tough to do against both these hurlers. Of course, Ziffel's been just as effective.
What a shot down to third from his knees. Long throw and a nice pick. Hutchinson to Ligon. That was a barreled up baseball to open up the 6th, but it's the leadoff out.
Oh, great play again by Logan Hutchinson. He's so good down there at third base. I think he gets overlooked with all the big names you have in this lineup, and he's a guy that's steady. We've seen him take away multiple hits here, many games. There's another good first pitch strike there by Ziffel to get on top of Moore, 0-1.
Moore 0 for 2 this afternoon. Struck out swinging to end the 1st. Popped out to first to end the 4th. As he sends a shot into left field. Base hit, first since the 3rd inning for Wapakoneta. And a 1-out single puts a base runner aboard for the Redskins.
Great swing there by Cade Moore, who's heading to Tiffin University to continue his baseball career. That ends a string of 5 consecutive hitters retired by Ziffel. But yet just the 4th base hit given up tonight.
Off speed, trying to get him to offer, nothing doing. You got Grant Jolly already making plans to head to North Carolina State. Obviously, you've got Eccles going to Miami as this one chopped foul, third base side. Likewise, as Scoop mentioned, Caden Moore going to Tiffin. And then you've got 5 sophomores on this roster. Safe to say there will be more Wapakoneta players playing at the next level before their careers are done at the high school frame. Quick throw over, not in time.
Yeah, you can see some of these sophomores are really going to be fine players in a year or two for head coach Jason Bryant.
Brought a big sweeping bender, and Bailey couldn't decide. Takes for a strike.
Moore does have 3 stolen bases on the season.
Off speed out front. This is a foul ball up the first base side. Ligon, okay, that is a somewhat unorthodox play. It was clearly foul, but he just swats it to the backstop.
He's just trying to make sure he touched it. That thing it was a cue shot, so it had a lot of English on it, so he wanted to make sure that thing did not somehow shimmy back into fair territory where it'd be ruled a fair ball, so he just swatted that toward the backstop.
1-2, got him swinging, snap throw down to first, the tag. Boy, he just did beat it. Caden Moore, a fraction of a second, or it would have been a double play. Instead, just a Premier Bank strikeout for 2 away. And up steps Alex Lewis. Off speed, boy. Brez has got that pitch working now. He struggled a little bit last inning.
He's got such a great changeup. You know, it's such a plus change. You just don't see that at the high school level. That's what's so great about it. Here's another play by Hutchinson.
Long throw, clicks, fires. And the 1-out single doesn't do any harm to Defiance. No runs on a hit. No errors, one left aboard. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs starting to run out of chances. They're down to their final 6 outs. We'll see if they got some offense in them when we come back. You're watching DCTV Sports. Taylor Eccles, bottom of the 6th, will arguably be the toughest part of the Defiance lineup. 3, 4, and 5, heart of the order, Gomez, Rodenberger, and Ligon. He's got just enough offense to take care of business here this afternoon. The tally for visiting Wapakoneta, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Defiance, no runs on 2 hits, no errors. As a matter of fact, as I look down here this afternoon, Scoop, 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Last inning was the only inning that Defiance hasn't put somebody aboard. So you look down here, half a dozen runners left on base, and by my book here, 4 of those in scoring position. If Defiance can't muster some offense over the last 2 frames, they will look back on this one and say, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Well, they just want to get another opportunity, and they're down to the final 2 innings, so sooner than later as far as Coach Rick Weaver's concerned. And right now they're going to try to just find a way to get guys on base. Maybe that's working a count. Maybe that's playing a little small ball. Maybe that's being aggressive here at the plate.
Well, if you're Noah Gomez right here, a walk is every bit as good as a hit as he takes a 1-0 pitch on the outside corner.
Yeah, right now, this is money ball. It's about getting on base. You know, you don't have to have style points here. You just have to find a way to get that tying run on base. It put a little pressure on this Wapak defense, who's played really clean to this juncture.
3-0, he's taking on the fastball. And now he's probably wishing, give me one more just like that. 3-1, he did, and he fouled it back. And I'll guarantee you that's one Noah Gomez wishes he had back. From 3-0 to 3-2. This one a shot up the middle. Off the heel of the glove, Bailey stays with it, fires across the diamond to retire the leadoff man here in the 6th.
Wow, what a nice play by the sophomore, Drew Bailey. And credit Eccles once again, coming back from 3-0. 6th time he's been in that count, or a 3-ball count. Boy, that's a huge first out.
So there's Rodenberger digging in, 0 for 2. Takes for ball 1. Garrett struck out looking to end the first. Grounded out back to the pitcher to end the 3rd. Takes a strike here. 1-1. I love this view from center field. Check swing. There you saw the break on that pitch. That center field camera gives us a look at the plane of the ball, and that thing just fell off the tabletop.
It did, and Rodenberger, fortunately, did not go into fair territory. But there's a premier bank strikeout as Eccles once again just finds a way to elevate his game in crunch time.
Garrett Rodenberger just hasn't looked comfortable this afternoon against Taylor Eccles. But then again, not a lot of hitters will. So here's Ligon digging in. 0 for 1 with a walk.
And again, for Ligon, he's trying to extend a 3-game hitting streak.
Takes a bouncer for ball 1.
You know, Brent, the thing about Eccles, we've talked about his numbers, but last year, this young man as a junior threw a couple no-hitters, had an ERA of 0.34 on the season.
That's not bad.
He also had a 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio, so he's used to putting up these numbers.
3-1, and wasn't that ball? Check that, the 2-1. Now it's 3-1. See if Ligon gets something to work with here. Eccles working quickly. This one well struck, but hooking foul. And that will bounce, roll to the DCTV truck, which we know is heavily insured. Our Producer Josh Bush looking over at me with a wry smile. As this one, a called third strike on the outside corner. Ligon needs to be careful. He had a word for the home plate umpire. And that will do it for Defiance here in the bottom of the 6th. Another Premier Bank K as Eccles strikes out 2 of the 3 that he faces. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left the board. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Wapakoneta 1, Defiance nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports. Top of the 7th, we welcome you back to a sunbathe Defiance High School baseball field. Down to second base, Brez Ziffel has finished his warm-ups. Cody Shaw says, let's do it. Well, you can't score when you're in the field. It's the unique part of baseball. The defense has the ball, so Breslin Ziffel will deal to the bottom third of Wapakoneta's order. His charge, keep it where it's at, 1-0. Madison Ludwig will lead it off. Zach Fisher on deck. Jarrett Allen in the hole. First pitch swinging, popped up. Right side, and this will drift back. Just outside of our range here. That's a good look from our third base camera, seeing Khalil Ligon running out of real estate. Looking ahead for Defiance in the bottom of the 7th, it will be 6, 7, and 8. Shaw, Ziffel, and Williamson. The only question is, how many runs will they need? Trailing 1-0 here, the 0-1. Ziffel deals, challenged him up around the letters. Ludwig swings right through it, strike 2. Well, weather permitting, Defiance back on the same field tomorrow afternoon, out-of-conference matchup against Archbold. As this one snaps off but misses in the cellar. Non-conference matchup, Scoop right now, the forecast looks a little dicey. There might be a window, but we're not quite sure. This one pulled a string, got him way out on his front foot. Strike 3, a Premier Bank strikeout for Breslin Ziffel to open up the Wapakoneta 7th.
Yeah, tremendous job again by Ziffel. Just really doing a great job of pitching. And that's his 7th strikeout of the afternoon.
So here's Fisher, way early on it, popped into foul territory. Hutchinson had it once, has it twice, makes the catch just in front of the visitor dugout's fencing. 2 away.
Well done again by Logan Hutchinson. Got over right away. A lot of guys will try to drift on that. He took 3-4 hard steps right away, got a beat on it, found that fencing there in front of that third base dugout, and 2 quick outs now for Ziffel, trying to keep this game right where it's at.
So here's Mullen digging in, takes a first pitch, breaking right over the heart of the plate. Mullen 1 for 2, singled, scored the only run of this game all the way back in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th, pops this one up into shallow rights, drifting back is Ligon in foul territory and puts the leather to it. So a quick 1-2-3 inning. Brez Ziffel does his job. Now it's up to the Defiance offense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs need at least 1, or this one's in the books. Don't go anywhere. We'll have it for you right after this on DCTV Sports. Bottom of the seventh as we welcome you back to Defiance High School. Brent Palbadon alongside Scoop Miller. This has been everything we thought it would be and more. Pitchers duel. Host Bulldogs down to their final 3 outs. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Cody Shaw, Brez Zippel, and Tyson Williamson to try and solve the riddle that is Wapakoneta right-hander Taylor Eccles. He's been nearly untouchable. First pitch is a strike. This one misses in the cellar. We talk about it so many times, Scoop, the importance of getting that leadoff man aboard, but when you're down to your final 3 outs, it's this one way out in front of it, fouled almost into the dugout. Makes it 1-2. You can just do so much more. It changes the game plan if you can get your leadoff man aboard, especially since you only need one.
I'll give you so many options, but Defiance just able to do that one time here
Oh,
tonight.
my, a called third strike, and Shaw can't believe it.
Oh,
wow.
Great pitch. Just kind of painted it right on the knees on the corner, and a Premier Bank strikeout for Taylor Eccles.
Is he in double digits now?
12th of the night. Just unreal.
So there's Brez Zippel as he screws himself into the ground on a first pitch off-speed bender. That looked like a good change.
He's doing this to a Defiance team that comes in scoring over 6 runs per contest, and their season low. They've not been shut out this year. Their season low came against Tilo Central Catholic, where they were able to win 1-0.
The 0-2, and he just chewed him up. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night on another Premier Bank strikeout. 2 away. He's now got a baker's dozen. You saw that shot from our center field cam, though. The pitch prior to that, though, Scoop, just the way the plane, the eye level changes on that breaking pitch. It's just filthy.
Yeah, just incredible. And he's now, through the first 6 innings, he struck out the last batter of the inning 5 or 6 times, trying to do it again here right now to end this ball game. But right now, Williamson trying to.
We got a pinch hitter here. This is Grant Rodenberger pinch hitting as he sends a ground ball to third. More on it, and it's in and out of the mitt of Peyton Young. It was a low throw. He's pointing at himself, though, saying, I should have had it. We'll wait and see if they score. That's got to be an error. The only question is it on the throw or on the first baseman? On the hop, it's got to be the throw.
Definitely E5. And remember, Grant Rodenberger 5 for 5 in stolen bases. So look for him to be off to the races when he can get a jump. And there's a good hold right there by Cohen Stockman, who takes ball 1. And now things have changed a little bit here.
They're going to chase Rodenberger back. He represents the tying run. The question is, can Stockman bring him home? High and tight. Two balls and no strikes. Make it 3-0. Well, things get interesting. If Stockman can find his way aboard, he represents the winning run. 3-0, ball 4. Eccles puts the go-ahead, the winning run aboard. Tying run now in scoring position, and the top of the order for Brady Borton.
Well, that's the 4th walk surrendered by Taylor Eccles tonight. And that puts that tying run in scoring position, as you mentioned, Brent. And now things get a little dicey. Now your outfield may have to take you hate to take a step back, but right now the potential winning runs at first base, and you also turn the lineup over to Brady Borton, a .313 hitter, looking for his first hit tonight.
Well, right now, you still only need 1 out. You got a force at any base. Check swing and a delayed strike call on the outer third. Brady Borton has struck out twice, 1 swinging, 1 looking. He's also been hit by a pitch.
Great pitch there on the slider. And there he misses downstairs.
The 1-1. Oh, man, he has been masterful with his change of speeds. We talked about eye level, we talked about pitches, but again, he has just got Defiance guessing right now.
Yeah, it was a nasty-looking splitter. The table fell off.
Same thing, but it gets past the catcher. Will roll to the backstop. Everybody will be saved. Oh, my goodness. Talk about irony on what was strike 3. one of those splitters that gets away from Alex Lewis. Everybody's safe as now the bases are juiced for Torin Long.
Oh, just incredible. The third strikeout of the inning for Eccles. And Defiance has loaded the bases with 2 outs without the benefit of a hit.
An error, a walk, and then a wild pitch on a third strike, and now there's nowhere to put Torin Long. You've got to pitch to him.
And now he's probably going to go fastball after some of these balls have been in the dirt. And there it is, the fastball that goes right down the heart of the plate to even the count up on Long at 1-1.
Rodenberger at third, Stockman the winning run at second. And a check swing. It's a delayed strike call. Torin Long now down to his final strike.
Filthy slider once again from Eccles. Can he finish it right here? 1 strike away.
Fouled back. Boy, Long had a good rip.
Great job there by Long. A tough-looking pitch down the count 1-2. Makes a healthy cut, fouls it off here the right side.
The 1-2. Eccles comes home. Ground ball up the middle. Gobbled up. There'll be a play at second, and Bailey makes the unassisted putout to end the ball game. Wow. What a 7th inning. But on the unassisted putout at second, Defiance leaves them loaded here in the bottom of the 7th. Final score, Wapakoneta 1, Defiance nothing. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports. Well, it was the class of the league on display here this evening at Defiance, and when it was all said and done, one run. Not just spelled the difference in the game, one run between both teams. An incredible pitcher's duel. And with that said, we welcome you back to the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller here on DCTV Sports. Wapakoneta hands Defiance their first loss in conference play by a final of 1-0. Scoop, you got to start on the mound, both pitchers. I know you often hear announcers say a shame that somebody had to lose, but it was just absolutely spectacular. Zach Eccles for Wapakoneta, Brez Zippel for Defiance. One inning where it was a multiple hit inning spelled the difference in this contest.
Just an incredible game. We expected this type of game, but, man, you could not ask any more out of your pitching staff than we saw here tonight. I thought Brez Zippel was just outstanding.
He was.
Surrendered just 4 hits. I think he allowed just 1 walk. But the thing was, for Wapakoneta, they got 3 of those 4 hits in succession there with 1 out in that crucial 4th inning. The 9-hitter gets the base hit, followed by Eccles there leading off, and then the clutch base hit.